Hey everyone, and welcome to Comedians on Technology, People and Drugs. I'm your host, Sam Joseph, and today we're very lucky to have comedian Mariah Bowden on the podcast. Hey Mariah, it's really great to have you with us. Thanks so much for sharing your time.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure because you're a very funny person. And let's get into our first question, which is, what is your comedy origin story? Were you on a planet comedy that exploded and sent you hurtling across the universe to land here? How did it all get started?
Yeah, something like that. I guess, well, obviously, I've always been fucking hilarious,
Blair.
from birth. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I did a bit of theater and some comedy acting as a kid, and then
Oh yeah.
uh, gave it all up, stopped performing in like 2010.
Hmm.
And then years and years later, I moved to South Korea.
Hmm.
And I was friends with a very funny person who did comedy. And after seeing him absolutely bomb at a show, I was like,
Right.
maybe I could do this.
Okay.
And so he kind of pushed me for a couple of years to finally write a set. And I did, and I was instantly addicted to it. So yeah, it's just something to do really in South Korea. You know, you kind of got to build communities
Right.
where you can when you're living overseas. So
Right,
yeah.
right, and right. So your first ever set was in South Korea to a South Korean audience, or
Largely expats, largely American military.
right, right.
And it's safe to say that they hated me.
Oh dear,
But I had a great time.
wonderful. Yes. Well, and so this was the friend who had been into comedy in South Korea. That they'd sort of
Mhm.
you just been going along to watch them kind of
Yeah.
support and so on. And yeah, had you before that time had it ever occurred to you that you might want to do stand up? Had you watched stand up and thought that looks fun, or was it just out of the blue?
I've always really loved stand-up. Like when I was about 16, I went to see Dylan Moran by myself because
Oh
none of
yeah.
my friends knew who he was or wanted to do that. And same with Bill Bailey. So yeah, I've always been really into it, but it never occurred to me that that was accessible for me because there's still not that many women in comedy, but
Right.
um, there was no one like as big as that, like touring and especially not coming to New Zealand.
Right.
So yeah, it just didn't seem or feel accessible, I guess, is why I never really considered it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And so you'd moved to South Korea for work. I mean, you were working there, and yeah. So there's an expat community, and yeah. Is there much? I myself lived in Japan, and I mean, like, more recently I've done stand-up comedy there. But the first time I was originally there, I wasn't aware of really any stand-up comedy. I did a bit of improv and so on, but that was you're hanging
Yeah.
around with the other expats. Was there much? Were there many different places to perform in South Korea?
Not really. So we kind of were the place that I kind of cut my teeth. I lived in Busan,
Oh.
um, and there's one club called the Ha Ha Hole that was
Mhm.
for English speaking comedians.
Right.
And that was once a month. But what we did is we did like Ha Ha Hole on the road. So we would quite often
Oh
just
yeah.
book a venue in a town over and go and do comedy there. So we kind of just made our own gigs basically
Right.
after a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so you said that first one was just you were like, this is fantastic, and then you found a way to get other opportunities and so on. If we just focus in on that first gig, was
Yeah.
there? I guess you talked already about how you seeing your friend not doing so well. You're thinking, well, I could probably do at least as well as that, if not much better.
Yeah.
People talk about that first gig. It's the huge fear. It's the jumping out of the plane. Was it a very? Did you find yourself, you trying to get out of it? You had to steel yourself, or once you'd made your mind up, you were there.
Well, no. So it was actually out of town because I didn't want to do my first set in front of all of my friends.
Okay, right,
So I'd gone out of town with the same comedian who kind of pushed me into it.
right.
And we got there and the gig started and the audience were horrible. They were heckling the
Mm.
MC. Um, and my mate was like, I've been doing this 10 years. This isn't going to be your first gig. I'm fucking out. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
really?
we're out of here. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he left and I went to talk to the host and he was like, don't be ridiculous. Just sit down, like, do your set.
Yeah.
Um, and then the first comedian went on and it was her first time as well. And the audience were really kind. They just hated the MC, I guess.
Okay, okay.
And yeah, she just kept talking, and it was awful to watch. And so I was like, well, I was such a nerd about it in the beginning. I'd practiced the set like a million times in the mirror. I'd filmed myself. I'd like got the time. I was like, like I'm a theater kid, so it was like
Right.
perfectly scripted, blah,
Got
blah,
you.
blah. So I kind of had this weird like savior complex where I was like, I've got to save this show
Oh
with
yeah.
my brilliant jokes.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, just did it. And so my friend didn't even see my first set. He had left
Right.
with his wife.
Right, right. But I guess having the it all set up and you were in that sort of situation, you were like, you had self-belief that meant
Yeah,
you got it there and
yeah,
you did it and I think you said already that it didn't go fantastically well, but there was something about being on the stage different from other kinds of stuff you've done. Can you
yeah.
talk to that? What about that electric something that made it so exciting?
Yeah, I think like I've never had an issue with being on stage. So I studied contemporary dance outside of school. So
Mm.
I did like professional dancing for quite a while, and loads of big theatre shows and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
But what's different about it, so that yeah, I wasn't too worried about being on stage per
Mm-hmm.
se. What is way different about it is that it's me on stage
Mm-hmm.
and it's my
Mm-hmm.
material. So
Right.
I've written stuff and I've directed stuff, but I was never on stage doing it myself, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, having to it's all yours. There's no blame to be passed
Right,
if
right,
it's
right.
shit.
It's very exposed, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this is I made this stuff up.
yeah.
This is me delivering it, and the whether it goes, I guess, well or badly, that it's almost like got a direct line to your soul, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what was scary about it. And I think for a lot of comedians, like the first kind of stuff that you write is often real things,
sure,
from your life. So there's also that you're like, oh,
right,
I'm talking about who I really am, and that's not nice for the first time.
right. Right. I mean, I think in some ways the comedy that I like the most is where we are seeing something real about the person, something that's really happened. Um, you were saying there that there's something on the experience of delivering that is somewhat unpleasant. Or is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it was initially because I'm not like I'm I don't really like talking about myself
No?
so much. Like I like to have a yarn and like, bit of banter, as you'd say. But
Right.
in terms of like I get really bored with my stories because I know what they are.
Right. Sure.
But so trying to like fish those out and make them into like accessible and interesting and funny
Hmm.
anecdotes for stage was it felt quite self-indulgent, which I didn't like.
Sure. Right. And although that makes it sound like something that you then had to steel yourself to carry on doing. So I guess there was something exciting about the rawness of it, but then it wasn't actually preparing for subsequent gigs and sort of then there was some resistance you
Yeah,
felt. Yeah, okay.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am completely opposite to that now. Like, I love it. I love like finding those little nooks
Right.
and crannies of things that I'm like, oh yes, can't wait to tell the world that.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah, oh me
yeah.
too. Yeah, yeah. Right. And then so it sounds like you were doing it, not hugely frequently, but
Mm.
as much as you could in South
Yeah.
Korea. But and then presumably you moved on to other places where there were more gigs accessible and you got into a rhythm of doing it. Can you tell us a bit about how that went?
Yeah, so last year I decided that I wanted to give comedy a proper go.
Oh yeah.
Um, and which isn't really possible as an English speaking comedian in Korea.
No, no.
So I forced my partner to move back to the UK, which he's not happy about at
Uh,
all,
uh,
and get a job and support us for a year so I could take a year off work and just do comedy.
oh wow.
So I came back in May of last year and for So You Think You're Funny.
Right.
Um, so I came back for that competition and then I've pretty much been doing about 20 gigs a month at
Right.
least since then. So I'm
Brilliant.
just, yeah, an absolute gig pig and just stage time and kind of finding out who I am as a
Yeah.
comedian.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you've gone all in. Wow. And that is,
Yeah.
we're May 2025 now. It's a year. Um, yeah. I mean, tell us. So, like, I mean, and God bless your partner for supporting you and made that blog continue. I mean, I suspect maybe you'll be support. You'll turn the tables. But so
Yeah.
like that, you're at that year in. You've been doing comedy for full time for a year. Where
hmm
do you find yourself now? How are you feeling about it? What's the plan?
Um, really, especially the last probably 3 or 4 months,
Uh-huh.
it's just gone from being like, what the fuck am I doing? This is ridiculous to like,
Uh,
oh, okay. Some doors are starting to open
oh wow.
and well, the doors are already open. You just got to kind of walk through them, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, so I guess where I'm at now is I have like a wee glimmer of hope that this might actually work and I might pull this off,
Uh-huh.
which is nice. Just
Amazing.
slowly getting more and more paid gigs
Right.
and yeah, and finding it easier to like write and know what's good
Hmm.
uh, a bit quicker than, flogging a dead horse of a joke for a month at gigs.
Right, right.
Kind of better at being like, oh, no, actually, I'll try that twice and then it's dead.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're learning to kill your babies,
Yes,
as people say.
which
Yeah.
is a strong theme in my comedy as well.
Right. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Wow. Well, I mean, that's amazing to hear, and not that I know anything, but I think it sounds like the beginning of absolutely extraordinary things.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I mean, our common second question is often focuses on technology. I mean, I'm really interested in your process. As I often preface this, technology can be, it could be the latest AI. It could be just a particular kind of pen. It could be actually the rhythm that you use to create material. I'm really interested in how, the like process. I'm interested in your process. Is there any technology involved in it?
hmm
How is it all working at the moment?
Yeah, I very much a pen on paper
Oh yeah.
um, sort of person. I'm trying to get a lot better at trying to get better at filming everything and
Uh-huh.
but then they just sit on my computer and I don't cut them and I don't post them. I don't do
Oh
anything
yeah.
with it. So I'm really bad at that.
Hmm.
I'm I'm kind of thinking for my first hour, which won't be for a long time, but
Hmm.
I kind of want to, I'm really good at making like interactive PowerPoints
Oh yeah.
from being a English teacher in Korea for 7 years. I
Right.
made a lot of like games and things.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm like would like to include that in my comedy. I also
Sure.
made a lot of quizzes, like I was a quiz master in
Oh
Korea as
yeah.
well.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I would like to expand on that more. I've kind of got an idea. It's the start of something. Um, yeah, I want to do like a pick your own path comedy show.
Oh cool.
Yeah, because I loved pick your own path books growing up.
Mm.
They're just so much fun. Um,
Sounds great.
but yeah, not I mean, yeah, technology. I'm trying to get better, but I don't like it that
Uh,
much.
sure, sure. And there's a lot to be said for pen on paper. I'm interested. You mentioned. I guess you think you want to film more. It sounds like you're at least filming some proportion of your sets.
Yeah.
And so when you say that they sort of sit around on your computer, do you find it difficult to watch yourself back, or just finding the time is tricky, or what?
Oh yeah, it's disgusting watching yourself back. I hate
Re
it.
really
It's
interesting.
really useful. I do it. I
Sure.
force myself to do it because it's really good for just well, you know why it's good. Like timing and you sometimes little improv bits that happen on stage
Sure.
that really work and you're like, oh fuck yeah, okay, that's part of the set now.
Mm, mm, mm.
All of that stuff is really beneficial, but yeah, I don't particularly like it or
Interesting.
want to
Yeah,
see it.
it was a common topic on this podcast where we talk about. I think the majority of people that we comedians we talk to say they don't like watching themselves back. They don't like listening to themselves.
Yeah,
I am one of a small number, and I'm not the only one who, for some reason, is absolutely fascinated by watching himself back. I mean, you could just say I'm
great.
a screaming narcissist. It's there's something about it. It's I don't know. For me, one of the joys, I mean, of a gig, not just doing the gig, is then watch. I mean, almost, I can hardly wait myself to watch it
Wow.
back afterwards. It's just, I don't know what that is. It's just a strange
Okay.
thing. I have generally not been posting. We had Philip Reese on the podcast last week, and uh, he says that he doesn't like looking at himself, but he's worked in call centers for a long time and has got used to the sound of his own voice, and
Yeah.
he's now sort of forcing himself to post and cut and do that a lot.
Yeah.
And since listening to him, I've actually the last week I've started going through and taking and posting
Oh,
on TikTok.
yeah.
It's which
It's
is a dangerous thing for me as a screaming narcissist because I'm now,
yeah.
oh my God, I like most of my week has been spent looking at video of me kind of
Checking how many
go.
views you've got.
So you know they're in danger lies, but yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you're thinking you'd like to spend you. It's challenging, but you'd like to spend more time watching yourself back for all the reasons that you mentioned,
Yeah.
and you'd like to be getting clips of yourself up and
Yeah.
online. Yeah,
Yeah. Basically, I mean, which I've got no excuse. I don't have another job.
right.
I definitely have the time to
Oh,
be
you've
doing
got this
it.
amazing material to create. That takes hours, doesn't it?
Yeah. To be honest, I spend like the first kind of hour of my day on the phone to my split bill partner, Molly McBride.
Yes.
We usually spend about at least an hour on the phone to each other every morning, just like, and I consider that work.
Yeah, no, but is that kind of on morning pages? And Molly is very funny. I've had her at some of my clubs, and she's
Yeah,
hysterical.
she's hilarious.
Yes, and so is that because there's that the sort of the artist's way, which it says spend the first 2 hours of the day just writing notes to get it all out. Are you sort of doing that in a sort of a hive mind with
Yeah.
Molly? Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
so we kind of just have conversations and try and jot down anything insane that comes out of our mouths, which is
Oh, brilliant.
quite often, quite a lot. And then we can kind of use that for bits and bobs for our show.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant, and it's really good to hear. And it's great that the two of you have got that connection. We had Callum McKenzie on the podcast. Actually, you know, we're going to have to re-record it because it didn't come out properly. But
Oh no.
yeah, but we've got him booked him back in again.
Callum's great.
He's amazing. He's and one thing I picked up from him, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, is this 10 jokes a day. So one of the things he
Oh,
got from a course is like writing, you know, doing your best to write 10 jokes every day. And one of the things that he shared is what he does is every evening, once he's got the 10 jokes, he emails them to his dad. And the next day, his dad emails back saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no,
yeah.
whatever on the
Wow.
things, which is just, I'm like, wow, what to have, you know, when you've got a great comedy collaborator,
Yeah.
whether it's a relative or a friend or what have you, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
That's so
Yeah.
fancy that he's a comedian and has a dad.
Yeah,
Surprising.
it's extraordinary. But most of us have just disowned them, haven't we? It's just like I was hatched from an egg. But so that well, that's brilliant. I'd love to hear how you know what does a typical day look like for you after you've spent the hour with Molly? What other things are happening that helps you generate material, get ready for a gig, all this and the other?
Yeah, most of it at the moment is like, well, actually in the beginning most of it was like researching and applying for gigs. Just
Right.
apply, 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 which is why I was like able to gig so much, you know,
Mm,
like
mm, mm.
um so but now I'm kind of I've taken a step back from applying for gigs, which is nice because people just ask me and that's lovely.
That's brilliant. Oh yeah, when it flips
It's
around like that, yeah,
very
wonderful.
nice. Um, but pretty much at the moment, it's all just working on our show.
Mm.
So, and we're kind of trying to turn our show into a podcast as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's basically just like boring administrative stuff of like emailing people and agents and trying to
Oh
find out how we go about this. Yeah,
right, right.
it's very boring. But yeah, I like set myself deadlines as well for like writing a new 10 minutes. So I need to
Oh
have
yeah,
like a new 10 minutes every month. I usually half of it doesn't even see the stage.
sure.
Because I'll do it for myself maybe two or three times and then I'll know actually I fucking hate that. That's going.
Mm,
It's in the
mm.
bin. See you
Right,
later.
sure.
Yeah.
Right, right. And yeah, so there's in a lot of the days taken up with admin these days, but I guess
Mm.
you're still you're carving out time to say, you know, I've got to generate material. So that, you know,
Yeah.
there's this stuff in the morning with Molly, and I guess you're just carrying around a pen and paper all day, every day, and it's like whenever you know you go to a coffee shop, go for a walk, written down. I mean, do you
Yeah.
spend time in front of a laptop typing stuff out as well, or is it
No,
no?
it's only pen and paper.
Right, right.
Nothing makes it. Yeah, no. I hate typing. I'm really dyslexic, so
Oh yeah.
it becomes quite difficult with writing, trying to read it back. I'm like,
Oh,
what
okay.
the fuck is that? But it also means I'm quite slow at typing,
Okay.
and then it's all just like spell check the whole thing, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, no,
I don't
absolutely.
like it.
No, no, totally understood. Yeah, and yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, I mean, it sounds like exciting times. You've already mentioned a few people. Are there other people that are really impacting your comedy? Obviously, there's Molly, there's the guy in South Korea. Is there anybody else who's really having a big impact
Mhm.
on you and your process at the moment?
Yeah, well, obviously, my partner is also really good for helping me with jokes. He's really good at toppers.
Oh, okay.
So, whenever I have a joke, he's always got notes for me, and he's always like bent like he's very good and very critical, which I like and I need. So
Mm,
he's great. Not a comedian, which is also good. Hearing someone else's kind of
right.
um, yeah, I think yeah, obviously at the moment Molly's the big one in terms of in comedy. Um, but yeah, I mean, you meet so many people on the circuit that are so great, and it's so nice to like um, bounce ideas off people. Like I'm pretty much always messaging someone about a joke, like someone that I know will be like has jokes that are similar or like a
Uh,
similar style or whatever. I mean, like, what do you think of this? I've got a friend in Brighton who I talk to all the time,
uh,
Sam Mullen. He's a very good, very dark comedian because there's
uh,
not loads of dark comedians that aren't like edgelords,
right, right. Sure.
like actual dark material that isn't offensive.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think obviously like the biggest influence, like a lot of my material is about my upbringing, and that's ma largely to do with my mum.
Hmm.
Like she's hilarious. She doesn't know that she is.
Oh,
I
really?
don't think it's intentional, but she
Uh-huh.
is fucking hilarious. And yeah, that's the biggest comedy influence, really.
Right, right. Yeah, and you mentioned Dylan Moran and Bill Bailey. I'm a
Hmm.
big fan of Dylan Moran. I think I saw him when I was quite young at the Edinburgh
Yeah.
Festival. Yeah, is in terms of your influences there, if we think about famous comedians, are those the key people, Dylan and Bill, or are other others, would you
Yeah,
say?
from like kind of they were the earliest. I used to love watching the young ones as well. So
Oh
Rick
yeah,
Mail was another big one.
yeah.
Yeah, early doors definitely. And then that kind of led on to I really liked like Tim Minchin
Hmm.
and like uh Ricky Gervais's Politics was really good.
Uh-huh.
Um but now yeah, now I'm just obsessed with the comedians that I kind of see around here. Like I love Finn Brady. I think she's brilliant.
Right.
And
Yes.
Sophie Duker as well is
Uh-huh.
yeah, excellent. Jordan Jensen, who's an American comic. Yeah, so there's lots that kind of not necessarily influence you, but you're like, yeah, that's how it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it's fucking done. Great.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, there's a lot of great people around. And well, I was thinking maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm so interested. Tell us more about the show that you're doing with Molly and how that's
Yeah.
going. They've been going at the Brighton Fringe.
Yeah. So it's called Toxic Femininity.
Great title.
Um, yeah, great title. That's Molly there. We've spent so many days trying to find a title. Like Slags with Gags. We came up with the worst titles. It was what do we both have in common? Oh, we both used to sell drugs. Great.
Uh,
So it's kind of hard, but we got there. We got there in the end. Yeah, it's just a split bill, but we do some stuff together at the top.
oh yeah.
And at the end, we kind of get the audience to uh, give us their most toxic confessions,
Ah.
which we read out, and it's all anonymous. So we get some hilarious and
Oh
utterly
wow.
awful toxic things back, and it's brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
So the show's kind of mainly about trying to like us being very confessional about all of the horrible things that we've done,
Okay.
um, and trying to make audiences feel okay about themselves. It's like radical self-acceptance,
Right.
basically.
Right. Right. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really fun show. And yeah, we can't believe how well it went in Brighton. We're blown away. We're booked in for Edinburgh as well for the
Wonderful.
full run. So hopefully
Amazing.
it'll be just as successful, really. And it's kind of, yeah, we're just polishing it up now. And Molly wants explosions. It's getting out of hand already.
CGI pyrotechnics,
She's larger
hot
than
buttons.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well,
Yeah.
that's wonderful, and we'll get links to the upcoming extra show in Brighton and the Edinburgh run
Yeah.
in the show notes. Fantastic, and everybody will go and see that. Brilliant. Um, yeah, amazing to hear. Moving on to our other questions.
Hmm.
You mentioned have drugs affected your perception of reality? And again, like with technology, when we say drugs, that doesn't necessarily, it can mean
Yeah.
ADHD medication, it can mean cups of tea, it can mean, like, acupuncture.
Yeah.
Are there things that substances that you find have changed your perception of reality over the years?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in a drug positive household,
Oh, really?
so to speak. Not the gnarly ones, but after my mum stopped drinking, she started just smoking a lot of weed, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. So there was always a lot of that from like, late teens onwards. And I mean, there's not a lot to do in New Zealand, I'll be honest.
Really?
I mean, it's beautiful,
Right.
but it's even more beautiful when you're on hallucinogenic drugs.
Right. Right.
So yeah, kind of as young adults, we spent a lot of time picking mushrooms and taking LSD, and
Right.
so like that sort of that I think that it's really nice to do, every once in a while now. I'm too old for how we used to do it, but
Right.
to kind of you always have an epiphany of some level of importance, I think, when you kind of bend your mind a little bit. And definitely one trip when I was in Korea,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm doing comedy.
Oh,
Fuck
okay.
it. Yeah. I was like,
Wonderful.
you know what? There's potential here. Like, just like stop fucking around and just do it.
Okay.
So definitely there's been a big impact from
Right.
actual drugs to
Yeah. No,
where I'm
amazing.
at.
Yeah. I mean, that's That's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, and certainly these are substances which can lead you to see the world in a completely different fashion. But yes, and that's obviously inform the decision and the direction. I mean, and that one as one gets older, one can't keep up the pace that one might have had when one was younger.
Yes.
But do you feel that they've impacted your creativity somehow? Is it a lasting thing, or it was just sort of the days of youth?
Um, No, yeah, I think once you've done it a few times, some of it never really leaves you in terms of
Mm,
creativity and trying to look look beyond a joke. Um,
mm.
and finding threads, I think it's really helpful for that. Something that ties everything together, which is like largely what the experience is like,
Mm,
tying everything together.
mm,
Um, so yeah, definitely, it's such a great way to enhance creativity. I think like microdosing is also really good for
mm.
like things like trauma recovery and think like
Right.
so good for people healing their brain. And um, yeah, I think you have to be quite creative to get through trauma.
Yes, yes. Oh, and that's a big. So my co-host Joe Vaughan, part of the reason we started the podcast, with this particular title is he works for charities that are trying to get the scheduling changed so that more research can be done into how these drugs can be used to help people with trauma. I mean, and of course, as we always say, I mean, these are powerful substances which the listeners need to be careful with.
Obviously,
You can be
obviously.
you can get out of your depth really easily. But yes, yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time listening to the Pete Holmes podcast, and he's talks a lot about these things, and it slides into our next thing about what does it all mean? I think there's a suggestion that Pete Holmes is often saying is kind of like that these substances can put you in a place where you can see almost the real universe that is hidden in some. I mean, other people would say, "Oh no, it's just like it's all like crazy, mixed up, upside down." Um,
Mm.
what's your perspective on what all of this means. What's it all about?
I, this is so depressing, but it
Okay.
doesn't mean anything. Um,
Oh yeah.
which is the beauty of it, I
Right.
think. I think, yeah, I think we're just here.
Right.
It's all a fucking accident and it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But there is so much like beauty and hilarity and like crazy adventure to be had. And as long as we're doing it like this is so lame, like doing things kindly and without hurting others, then
Right.
we can crack on, you know?
Yeah.
But I
Absolutely.
don't I don't think there's some great meaning. I think we're lucky enough to be sentient enough to find connections and build connections, but that it is just luck.
Right. Right.
We don't deserve it.
Right, right. It's like we'll say it's just an accident. It's interesting because that connects with. So it doesn't mean anything, which means it can mean everything.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of thing in there of like you're saying, you know, you can find extraordinary beauty and hilarity in all of these things because there isn't any underlying
Yeah.
meaning or pattern. You can discover that for yourself, right?
Yeah. And I think that's like to bring it back to our show, that's why we're trying to do this like radical self-acceptance sort of material is
Right.
because it's actually okay. We all like no one's going to punish you like at the end of all of this. Like stop
Mm.
looking at like, oh, I should feel really bad. I should feel shame. I should feel this and that. No, fuck it. You fucked up. Who cares?
Mm,
Say you're
mm,
sorry,
mm.
move on.
Right, right.
Do better next
Yes.
time.
Yes, yes. Because like I say, yeah, a lot of people we're all stuck in a kind of being embarrassed and ashamed about the strange and crazy thoughts that we have, which we like we're putting on these masks in society to be a certain way, and then feeling awful about I had that thought, I had this thought, what have you. Yes, I think that. I mean, I think comedy is extraordinary in that regard, in that it creates these spaces where you can say these things, and then actually everybody in the room is like, ah, we're laughing because we've all thought that, or we've all done that, or something similar,
Yeah.
and that actually is really important for allowing people to get over whatever it is they've got going in internally, right?
Yeah, it's weird what other people have also thought. I think that's great. Like I love that about comedy. Tell a
Mm,
joke, you're like, is this relatable? I don't know. And then you tell it and there's eight people in the room who are like, I always think, and I'm like,
yeah.
thought I was alone.
Well,
You're
absolutely.
not.
Yes, yes. There's a kind of we spend most of our time in this kind of illusion of separateness. Yeah, it's a very strange thing. I mean, I'm really. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of Eckhart Tolle, who is this. There's this idea that if you can just stop thinking, right, then you can actually kind of properly experience the sort of the beauty of the universe. I mean, it sounds to me like you are probably quite good at maybe experiencing the beauty of the universe. I think something I struggle with because I'm like a or maybe I don't know, maybe we're more similar, but I'm so addicted to thinking, like it's like constant, constant,
Mm.
constant, constant, and I'm so jealous of more these people that I hear about who seem to have this ability to stop thinking and just experience.
Yeah. I am exceptionally good at being in the moment and experiencing, especially if I'm outdoors.
Right.
As soon as I'm in the building, this is on,
Oh,
and
really?
it's horrible. I hate
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah, but if I'm
Yeah.
outside, done.
Okay.
Great. There's grass or sand. I'm great. Sound like I didn't realize how much of a fucking hippie I sound. Ridiculous.
I mean, you're ringing my bell. I mean, this is these folks like Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass and P.O. They're all saying the same thing, which is that
Mm,
connect through nature. I mean, just before we started the thing, I went for a walk in the greener areas that I've been in. It sounds wonderful. I really appreciate being in nature, but I do find that my mind is still, and this is the thing these
mm.
days is I've got this kind of option when I go for a walk is I could, and I have done this sometimes recently, is not have a podcast on and just let the brain, but it won't stop. I often find that with all listening to podcasts, it's a way at least changing the record of the
Yeah,
ongoing incessant
yeah, yeah, yeah.
thoughts in my head. But that's enviable if you can going into nature can allow your thoughts to slow down there. Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
What's interesting is that I can't remember who it was, but when I was studying the second time around, he referred to it as your nose brain. So the brain that we kind of lost when we moved into the trees
Oh yeah.
during evolution, which was our nose brain, which is the ability to, like a deer or a dog, the ability to be able to smell feelings and, like
Right, right.
you can smell more than just what we know of smells. But when we lost that part of our brain, the ability to sense,
Mm,
we gained the ability to plan,
mm.
which is, I mean, great for us, right?
Yes.
We know what we're doing tomorrow. But basically, what we're saying is if you do take a substance such as LSD or mushrooms or cactus, that it switches off that planning brain
Right,
and
right.
allows you to reconnect with whatever level of nose brain we still have.
Right,
So, which
right.
is why you can kind of see how the wind is moving the leaves, like in quite
Yes.
an intense way, or you can see things at an anatomical level sometimes, that are
Yes,
kind of
yes.
shifting, and yeah, and that's because you that part of your brain's shut off and the other part's open, which I
Yeah.
thought interesting.
Yeah, that gels with a lot of the stuff that I read and listen to, and we've got this planning ability that can kind of just run wild, and like you
Mm.
can end up, making plans about plans about plans about plans, and therein also anxiety can come out, and I think and this Eckhart Tolle is always saying this is that in principle a lot of that thought is unnecessary. A lot of us sort of feel like we need to be doing that planning because otherwise everything will fall apart. But
Mm.
actually, that in the I think in the ideal sort of mental structure, that planning thing is something. Oh, if you do need to plan something, you can choose to do it. But if you don't need to, you can just sort of be exactly in that moment, like yeah, watching the leaves move, right?
Yeah. Do you find that you're still like running when you're on stage?
I, to an extent, yes. Like I
Mhm.
think I one of the reasons I enjoy being on stage is that there's some sort of heightened something going on. Like
Mm.
also some aspect of what I don't know if you find this, like sometimes you can be going to a gig and you're thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to try this thing and this thing, right? And then you get
Mhm.
up on stage and there's something about being in the moment where you don't have access to those plans that you thought you did, and then just
Yeah.
something else is happening. But there's yeah, it's I don't know but there's something about when I'm on stage and I'm, when I'm getting the feedback of the laugh, there's like I just feel so positive and happy about the ideas that are coming out. Whereas if I'm just off stage and I'm just sort of walking around or whatever, then the thoughts, the lack of external feedback,
Mm.
I find challenging. I don't know. How about you when you're on stage?
Yeah, I'm watching myself when I'm on stage. There's no like my body's just doing the thing.
Oh yeah.
And so my brain is going, all right, this is all going very lovely. What little callbacks can you put in from other comedians? Like what else could you do? What else could you say?
Oh really?
Yeah, I
Interesting.
almost have no control over what's actually coming out of my mouth unless I have a thought that goes, oh, that'll be good there, and then I can throw it in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And is that because so you're largely doing, going up and doing a 5 or 10 or whatever, you're doing material that you've done many many times before, so it's almost like second nature to be able to do
Yeah.
it, so you can step back from
Yeah.
it.
Well, I've extraordinarily good memory for scripts for words. For I think that's largely to do with being dyslexic, because I used to memorize full scripts so that if
Right.
I had to cold read for a different character, I could
Mm,
do it
mm-hmm.
without feeling like an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even if I'm doing new material, I can
Right.
I think I've forgotten once on stage what I was about to say.
Interesting. Well,
Like
that's yeah, very useful skill.
yeah.
I used to do theatre, and I am in a position to memorize things. Although I think that takes me more effort than it sounds like it takes you. But what I found myself in the last year is I kind of I'm almost always doing new stuff. So
Mm,
I'm kind of I often I'm going up and I don't know what I'm going to be saying, and so there
yeah.
isn't much chance for me to be out of body
Yeah,
saying how
of
this is
course.
going. I mean, I do find myself like, because basically I'm like, I've got, a number of topics that I might talk about, and I'll launch into them and effectively be writing on stage, saying this, saying that, what have you. This
Yeah, yeah,
comes up,
yeah.
this kind of, and then I will be like feeling, oh, that was good, that was bad, based upon the reaction in the room, and that will maybe try and, there's almost like a critical function there. But I'm trying to almost get into a point where I really, really don't care,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
About whether they're laughing or whether they're,
It's so hard.
it is so hard because when they are laughing, they're responding well. It feels so good, and you
Yeah,
want more. I want, but it's
yeah,
yeah. I feel like the true comedy or the true. I don't know whether it's true comedy or not. It's like truth. Truth comes when you can completely shut down that. Like maybe it was called the superego or the ego or what have you, and
yeah,
just let out the raw id. I think that's and
yeah.
that kind of where I want to get to. But yeah, from your perspective, for your comedy journey, what does the future look? Where do you want to be? What's the kind of comedy you want to be doing? Where do you see yourself?
I just want to I want to be able to travel about telling jokes.
Right.
That's it. That's the goal. I just want to be
Yeah.
able to, um, yeah, just do this all the time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, I have no like, I mean, Molly's got a great goal of slagging off her ex-mother-in-law on live at the Apollo. I don't have one of, I don't have one of those goals yet, you know.
Sure. Sure.
Um,
But what a
which I
great
think I
goal.
need to. It's such a good goal.
Uh,
Yeah. I think like I'm trying to keep it at like small immediate goals.
yes,
I
that's
don't
what you said.
yeah. Things that I can achieve in the next, month or so, whatever. Which one of those things is actually, yeah, not giving a shit if people are laughing or not, because actually
Right.
I've got to try new material.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrible at getting into a room. I see it's full and I'm like, all right, well, my best stuff is coming out because I have to make them all laugh.
Mm,
And then
mm,
all the new
mm.
stuff I wanted to do. But
Right.
actually, someone was bombing. This is in Brighton again. Someone was not, he was trying some new material and it wasn't going that great.
Was
But
this
he said
me?
something, no,
Sorry, go
no,
on.
it wasn't. But
Okay. Okay.
he
Go
said
on.
something that was brilliant. He was like, you didn't pay to get into this. Oh, this gig was free. So what was it?
Mm,
You don't deserve my best. Oh, you deserve less than my best jokes or something. I don't know.
mm,
I can't
mm,
remember now.
mm,
It's
mm.
so annoying because it was such a good quote and it's completely left my head. That's
Oh no, but
infuriating.
I think we can imagine. Yes, that it's
Yeah.
riffing on the they haven't actually paid any money to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
there. So what are you expecting? It's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
I mean, I mean, as you know, I MC Sunset Comedy. What I have been saying a lot recently is I said to people, look, I can't promise you any material, but I can promise you I'm going to be in the moment. I'm going to be
Yeah.
so in the
Yeah.
moment. You just won't believe it. And then they're like really bored. But no, I think that yeah, as I said before, I think there are of the many different approaches to comedy. There are two key ones, which is one, if you know what you're saying so well that you can just get up there and say it independent of whatever else is going on, that puts you into a relaxed state, right?
Mhm.
And actually it's that relaxed state that's key. Sorry, I've kind of done this the wrong way around, but I feel like people on stage that are not expected to be relaxed. If you are on stage and everyone's looking at you and you are completely relaxed, that is somehow very watchable. People
Yeah.
become very interested if like there is, and I say one way of achieving that is by knowing what you're doing so clearly backwards and forwards that you just have no fear about it. The other way, as we were talking about, is not giving a shit at all
Mhm.
about how.
Yeah.
And yes, I think that seems to me like the. I mean, for me, I'd like to be there. I would also like to have at least, sort of a certain minimum number of people in the room. The other part of this thing
That
is
does help a lot.
yeah is working out how to fill rooms, which does seem to be a very strange black art. But
Yeah.
that I mean I'm so impressed. That's absolutely wonderful that your Brighton run has been. Was there? I mean, independently of the two of you being incredibly talented and putting on an amazing show, was there some particular techniques that you've got about getting the word out, or do you think it's just
Um,
the right
I
time?
think I think it's a combination thing. I think that uh branding is
Yeah.
something that we're trying to keep. So we're just like the title's really good and the branding is clear. I think
Yeah,
that is on our side.
yeah, definitely.
But I went up uh, down where are we? I went down to Brighton about 4 or 5 days early, and I
Mhm.
did lots of shows. I saw you,
Yes.
um, and then like just did snippets of bits and told the audience like I did a few at Secret Comedy Club as well, and hear
Okay, so
about and then fly it afterwards.
you did a variety of showcase
Yeah,
things in the run up towards it.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
um, to try and
Yeah.
get some interest. But I think genuinely, I just think it's like people like it looks nice on the website. People have gone, yeah, that's free. We'll go to that.
You're not charging for it?
We weren't. We are for our next one, but
Okay.
we took donations at the door
Right.
afterwards.
Sure.
So we did
Yeah.
walk away up, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, insane.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compared to London where it's nigh impossible to
And
exist as a comedian here, let alone
absolutely.
make money off it.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Well, I think what you're saying about branding is makes a lot of sense. And so I mean, there's a I've forgotten his name, but he was on before my show in Brighton, and he does it's not a pub quiz. I've forgotten the name of the guy. I'll have to put it in
Oh,
the show notes. But he had he had his room was sold out
yeah.
in front of mine, and I was talking to him about that, and he was saying similar to what you were saying. It's a bit like because his oh no sorry his Instagram account is it's not a pub quiz. It's the name of the show is How to Win a Pub Quiz.
Mm.
And there's something about that because lots of people know that everybody knows what a pub
Yeah.
quiz is. Like
Yeah.
it's clear what you're getting. I think that's kind of a key for
And
these shows, which you've
yeah,
managed to achieve with your own as
the
well.
British are absolutely obsessed with pub quizzes.
I know I
It's
hate them.
mental. So just put quiz in your title.
Oh God,
You'll fill the
oh,
room.
I'm like ripping my heart out. There's something I viscerally dislike pub quizzes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm offending all of my British relatives
Yeah,
and friends or
yeah,
whatever.
that's
Just
it.
something
That's it.
I really dislike. I mean,
Treason.
I was savaged by a radioactive pub quiz when I was little. No, there's a yeah, yeah. So I've been sort of thinking about my show and like maybe I'm going to have to go for a rebranding, but try not to lose my soul in the
What venue were
process.
you at?
I was at Presuming Ed's.
Oh, same, same,
Yeah,
same, same.
yeah,
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 that's right.
which
Yeah.
is a nice room. But I think mine, which is called the Extended Comedy Booby Trap, which is like a organic title that evolved, doesn't really tell people what it is,
Yeah, okay.
And so I'm thinking of rebranding to like Sam Jose's virtual reality comedy experience, which is actually more,
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm doing this crazy thing with virtual reality.
Yeah,
But
virtual reality. That does sound mad. It sounds so exciting though. To have
well,
something new.
it,
Something.
yeah, if I made, I guess on my own podcast to promote, yeah, that so which involves partly, technology. I'm very into it, and one of the things that I do is I perform uh comedy in virtual reality like 3 or 4 times a week, and
Yeah.
I get to do like effectively like half-hour shows every multiple times a week
Yeah.
to
Amazing.
relatively small audience of people, but they are from all around the world. And but I can basically be trying out huge amounts of new material all
Yeah.
the time. But so these, it's basically there's 5 thoughts from my day, and I'll try them to spin them into comedy gold, no promise laughs. So it's almost like
Right.
improv stand up. But then so when I do my show that I take on the road, is I'm physically there in the room, but I have a headset which sits on the top of my head, and so I can
Hmm.
look down to see the real audience, and I can look up to see the virtual audience. So even though
Wow.
my physical audience numbers in Brighton were relatively small, I actually had double that
Yeah.
number attending
Brilliant.
from around the world.
That's
And
such a good tool.
I mean, that they did. So I also had first a new thing that I had in Brighton was I took a second headset with me, and so members of the audience were allowed to try on the
Oh,
headset and then
cool.
join and jump in and jump backwards and forwards, and it was all very silly. Anyway, yes, it's a lot of fun. I mean, although in some ways I hide behind it, it's basically my lack of prepared material. I'm distracting the audience with look at the technology stuff, and because the material hasn't been worked out that well.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely have to try it out sometime. The
Yeah,
virtual
yeah.
reality. It scares me, but
It's a weird thing, but it definitely, I mean, you're gigging across London, it can be exhausting. getting to and from everywhere, and it takes up a lot of
Yeah.
time. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fun little tool. Well, I know you've got a gig to get to, and you've been very
Yes.
generous with your time.
Thank you.
It's been a great conversation. Let's so anything else to promote apart from the show? Do you want to say the dates, and we'll get them into the.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
Toxic Femininity, we've got our next one is in Brighton at the Brunswick.
Oh yeah,
And we're filming it and it's on the 31st of May.
31st of May. Yep,
Yeah, at 6:30 p.m. and it's going to be fucking great.
gonna be
I
amazing.
feel it in my bones. And
Yeah.
then we're going to do a couple more viewings of like yeah, I guess previews of it in London, probably in Kingston,
Yes.
probably at Ram Jam Records, I
Brilliant.
imagine.
Hmm.
And then hopefully somewhere in central London, so I don't have to travel as far.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. This is the key, really. You've got to work out, how to get to these places. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
and then the
nightmare.
Edinburgh run as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, full run at Edinburgh, 9 p.m. at the Gilded Balloon Powder House in the Snug.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, we'll get all of that in the show notes. The last word will, of course, go to our fantastic guest today, Mariah Bowden. Let me just take a moment to, look at why my mouse on my computer is not working, and I can pull down this little thing that I say now, which is thanks everyone. And remember, you can help support comedians on technology, people, and drugs by going to patreon.com/comedians on, where any level of support will help us continue to produce this show. Please do follow us on Facebook, and we'll see you again soon. Last word to the guest, Mariah Bowden.
Stay toxic.